Igor is sitting in Frankenstein's castle one evening when the front doorbell rings. He can't figure out who's coming. He goes, opens the door. It's Frankenstein. He gasps, he runs out, he hugs him, he says, "Doctor, doctor, what are you doing here? I thought you were in jail." He says, "Well, I was acting very nicely and the prison warden let me take off a few days and come home." And Igor is almost in tears. He says, "It's so good to see you. Come in, come in." He sits him down in the living room. He helps him off with his shoes. He brings him the newspaper. He says, "I'll go prepare you something to eat." And doctor says, "That's very kind of you, Igor. Thank you." And he's sitting there and reading the newspaper, and all of a sudden he screams out, "Igor, Igor!" So Igor goes back into the living room and says, "What is it, doctor?" He says, look at this headline." Igor looks over his shoulder and it says, "Mr. and Mrs. Hill killed in car accident, funeral today." And he says, "So?" He says, "So, we're back in business. You're going to go to the cemetery tonight, dig up the Hills, and bring them back here. We're going to start doing our experiments again." And Igor says, "Doctor, you forgot what happened to you from the last time? You can't do that." And the doctor says, "Igor," he says, "All right, doctor, all right, doctor." They have dinner. They wait till it's really pitch black. Dr. Frankenstein goes into the living room to relax. Igor goes to bring back the bodies. He goes to the cemetery, makes sure no one is around, no one can see, digs up the two bodies, Mr. and Mrs. Hill, puts them in the back of the car, brings them back to the castle. There's Dr. Frankenstein standing at the door. He's ecstatic. He says, "Igor, I can't thank you enough. Take the two bodies, take them down to the lab. Just stay with them. We'll begin work in the morning." That's exactly what Igor does. He takes them down to the lab, puts each one on a separate slab, picks up a book to read, and he puts on some music just so he's relaxed. As he's reading, all of a sudden he hears stirring. He lowers his book, he looks up, both body bags are moving. He can't believe it. He lifts his book again, his hands are shaking, the music is still playing, and the bags are moving more and more and more. He drops the book to the floor, runs up out of the lab, runs all the way upstairs to the doctor's bedroom, knocks on the door, he says, "Doctor, doctor, doctor." Frankenstein comes to the door and he says, "What's the matter, Igor? What's the matter?" He says, "The hills are alive with the sound of music."